to Canva Template Store. In this video we're going to be showing you how to edit the desktop wallpaper. We'll start with the background design and then we'll go through all the individual elements to show you how to edit them or change them. If you click on the general design, the colour purple as the background main colour comes up here in a box. If we click on that, it will show the Canva colour palette. If you scroll down, you'll see there is options for solid colours as well as gradient colours. Or if you click on this plus sign up here, if you've got your own specific colour that you want to put in, just enter that in there and it'll change it to the colour that you'd like. Just to give you an idea of change of background colour, if I put something obvious in like yellow, that's what it looks like when you click it. It'll change the entire background. This little arrow here is your undo tab, so if you click on that, that will literally undo the previous thing that you've just done. Right, so we'll have a look at these. Are literally just sections of white dots. You can move them around if you drag them to a different position. You can make them larger, you can make them smaller. This plus sign is a duplicate, so if you click on that, you can actually duplicate any part of that. So if you want to change this design, you're quite able to do that. When you've had a fiddle about with it, if you want to go back to the original design, just click the undo button and that'll take it back to the original design. That's how you would do anything with all four of those. And also when you've clicked on them, which I didn't mention, if you go to the colour tab up there, it'll bring the colour palette up again so you can actually change the colour of the dots as well. The same goes for these stars. It's a group of stars, but all you need to do is click on them. You can make them larger, hence make them larger, make them smaller. You can drag them around, put them in a different position. When you hover over them there, you can change the colour. So if you didn't want them to be white and you wanted them to be pink, you can change them to another colour. I'll go back to the undo and just pop them back to the original for now. I think there's another undo there, that's right. And the same will go for that bottom section there. This text here, if you hover over it, and then I'm just going to highlight it all. Up here is where all the fonts are. If you click the down arrow, it'll show you all the different fonts that Canva has. If you've got a free Canva account, anything that hasn't got a crown against it, you're free to use. So all these you'd be able to use. What I mean by a crown is this little symbol here. You can only use those ones if you've got a Canva Pro account, but there is plenty of free ones available. So all you need to do is change it to a different font. If you want to change the font, you can have a play around with them, see which ones you'd like, and change it accordingly. You can also change the size. You can go down in size, up in size. You can change the text colour. This one won't let you bold it, but you can bold, italic a lot of them, underline them. This top bar is very much like a Word document. This section here has been grouped together, so we can move this entire design round. If I want to change the background section that's white there, if I click on that, it'll come up with a box. Anything that's white always comes up as like a multicoloured, rainbow coloured box because it's got no colour. So if I change that and then put in something obvious like a purple, you can see the background of that section's gone purple. If I take that back to the normal colour, I can then do the same with the grey. If I want to change that, I can highlight that in the top corner and you'll see the grey box, and I could go on the colour palette and change that. If I wanted to actually split them so that I could move this text further along or something like that, if I ungroup it, that makes that section separate. So now we have a separate white section, separate grey and separate text. So if I wanted to move that across, as some people do in design things, and have it hanging off the end, I could change it like that. I might want to move those stars further down, and you can change it and set it like that because they're all separate. But if I wanted to group it together again, if I take my cursor and go just to the top part of this design, hover over it and press down and drag it across just so it highlights everything I want to group together. Then let go. It'll come up with this box at the top which says group. If I click on group, then that section now is grouped together again. So whenever I move that, it moves the entire section. For the purpose of all of this, I'm just going to go back to the undo and put it all back to how it was before. This section here is also separate at the moment. I've left it separate so I can give you an example, but it's normally grouped together. If you want to move that on its own, because that font is circle, you can do. And you can change the text, move it to a different position, but I'm going to actually put that back to where it was, and then I'll hover over this section above here, drag my mouse across so it highlights both of those. You've got to be careful just to do what you want included in your group, because if I go too low, it's going to include them dots as well. So if I just hover above there, and then I can group that section together, and then they now will be together. So if I move them round, it'll move them exactly anywhere I want to go as a group product. Grouping things just makes it easier. If you've spent time setting things up and you don't want them to move, or you've got the right space in between things, it can be easier just to group them together so that you can move it round and you know you're not going to have to set it all up again. The next thing I need to show you after this is this word in here, which I didn't show you before. When we highlighted it, I showed you the text and the font and the size, but I didn't show you effects up here. When you click on effects, because this has got an effect on it, this has actually got something called echo, which is a little bit like that shadow, but slightly different. It's a little echo effect of the wording behind it. There's various different ones you can pick on. I'm not going to go into great detail of effects at the moment. We'll have a separate video to do with effects, which will go into more of an explanation if you want to watch that one. But this is really quite a cool Canva tool, so when you do different texts, you can do all sorts of different effects. It's good to have a play around with it, but like I say, if you're not sure how it all works, just watch our video on effects, and I will go through what all the different effects do, so it'll give you a better idea. And I think that's everything I needed to show you with that. So once you're happy with the design, the next thing we'll look at is saving it. Up here is where you will put your title, so you can delete all that. We'll just delete that and put in wallpaper just for now. Rename it whatever you want to rename it. If you go to file up there, you can either save it. Canva will save it periodically anyway. Every time you make a change on a design, it just automatically saves it. If you've set a folder up, you can go to move to folder, find the relevant folder that you want. We would choose Aurora because this is part of that theme, and then it'll either say save to folder, or you can just move, click that, and it'll save that design where you want it. If you're not sure when you go to file how to set up a folder, we do have a short video showing you how to actually make folders, name them, rename them, and how to save to folders, so it might be worth a watch on our YouTube channel. That's all you need to know about. If you downloaded this design and you're happy with it and you don't want to change anything whatsoever, then just forget everything I've just said for the last few minutes. You'll open it up and come to this design, and all you really need to do is go to share up here, click on download. It's fine as a PNG, and click download. It'll download it to your desktop, and then all you need to do is save that to your desktop and then upload it as your desktop wallpaper. And that is everything I needed to show you regarding how to edit, how to save, and how to change this desktop wallpaper. I hope you found this video useful. If you have, please give us a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, that will be great, because we're going to be adding more how-to videos as we go. If you would like to purchase the template for this desktop wallpaper, then the link to our store is in the description below. So just go down there and it'll take you straight to the store and you'll be able to actually purchase this template. Thank you.